Hi there YouTubers, this is Roscoe. Welcome to my latest review, and it's of the Infinity Studios City Hunter Predator, and it's the Ultimate Edition. Let's get in and take a look. So this arrived about 5 hours ago. I bought it from Spec Fiction Shop, and it arrived quite quickly, which is great. I was expecting it on Friday, but I've got it today on Wednesday. Now this is the ultimate version, which comes with the masked head sculpt and the hand holding the smart disc. Quite an awesome piece. It's when it was up for order, I think early in the year, I was quite surprised it was available so quickly. Their Berserker Predator was up for order last year, and that still hasn't been released yet. So quite surprised at the turnaround for this. You guys, full view of it. Now, box isn't anything too special. It's quite large. You got the nice sort of polystyrene box on the inside with the Infinity sort of etching in it. You got the Velcro straps, which is great and collector friendly. But yeah, there's not really any art to it really. It's like a little Predator 2 logo on the top of the box, so I won't really get in and show you that. One thing I will say is that this piece here, the base, was an absolute pain to get out of the box. It is huge. I think it's roughly about 26 or so inches. It weighs an absolute ton. It was wedged in so much, it took me about 10 minutes to wiggle it free from the polystyrene. So if you're getting this, that's probably the one thing you might need a couple of people to help you get that out. I did that on my own and it was quite a task. So moving this piece around once it's assembled is going to be another pain as well. So got the column from the penthouse scene where he kills the Jamaican drug lords. That's quite a nice sort of diorama setting. A nice action pose. I love how he's sort of doing his thing on the wall there. It's not just a simple standing on a base sort of pose, which is what I like about this. This piece is separate. You've got to sort of insert that. It's keyed in there. So you can see here's my hand. So it's quite a large size base. And you've got an arm here. I'm assuming he's a dead drug lord. So that's cool. Adds to its gruesomeness. Predator 2 nameplate. And there's the Predator himself. Now, I've got the Sideshow piece as well that came out probably 4 or 5 years ago now. That still is a little bit bigger body-wise, a little bit sort of bulkier. But I think Infinity have nailed the proportions correctly with this one. Their legs are a lot slimmer, or a little bit slimmer than the Sideshow. Same with the body. The head's definitely a lot smaller, but the head seems to be more in proportion to the body than the Sideshow. The Sideshow had overly large head, a little bit too big. They say this is 1/4, but it's sort of kind of hard to tell because he's crouching what he's going to be standing up straight. Haven't really measured it, but say he's close, definitely close to 1.4. Maybe the sideshow is slightly larger than 1.4. But this is definitely a little bit smaller than the sideshow piece. But with the stand and the base, it has a bit more presence than the sideshow. But overall, like this, they've nailed the City Hunter here. Whereas sideshow, there's a lot of things wrong with that. I don't even want to show that piece with the mask off, to be honest. Whereas this, I'm happy with both masked and unmasked. They're both great. It's harder to decide which way I want to go. But I'll show you that other head sculpt soon. The smart disc here, if you're not displaying this one, this is magnetized on. So once you put that on, it sort of clicks in. He is keyed in the back of his lower back there, slides in. The hand is magnetized like the usual joint that you get from a statue. These pieces here for his gauntlet, his blades, you have to sort of push them in. They don't really click or anything like that. You sort of slide them in and just adjust them. So that's something if you sort of bump, you know, or hit by accident, they could fall out if you're not careful. The netting moves around freely. His necklace, that's all sculpted. Something you're gonna have to watch out you don't bump. Mask is amazing. A lot better than Sideshow's attempt. It's got more of the copper tones to it. Better shape. The dreads hang nicely. Your shoulder cannon is a separate piece. There's, just like the Sideshow one, you've got this piece here and you've got like a little arm. You've got to plug the arm in first, and then put that on, and then the head on last. And lastly, this is something a little bit different to usually see. This one's not really pegged in this hand. Sort of, there's a joint, a magnet there, sort of has like an L shape. So that just sort of like clicks on like with a magnet once you've lined that up, the hand. So if you were to sort of knock that down hard enough, that could drop off. If you're not touching your statues or anywhere near it, or you're quite careful, that's not going to be an issue. But the way that is, it's not keyed in, it's just magnetized on there. So if, as I said, you bash that down hard enough, it will drop off. Whereas with the keyed arm, you did that, nothing would happen. You have to pull it sort of more of that direction. But overall, very impressed with this piece, guys. I'm really looking forward to their Berserker piece and their eventual Predator 1, Jungle Hunter. And one thing I noticed, this is definitely a piece you need to have sort of up high, because just looking at it straight on, you lose a lot of the Predator there. It sort of looks pretty, he's leaning straight towards you, so you don't see much. So as you go down lower, looks a lot better. But standing up where I am now, it's sort of, you lose a bit of it. Right guys, I'm just gonna switch it up now and put the other head sculpt and the spear on his other arm. All right, so here he is with the other parts, all the switch outs. So you got the head and the hand with the spear. So the spear and this head are with the regular, and the other parts that were on the first part of this video is the ultimate version. So this is what you'll get if you get the regular, which I still quite like. Let's go and take a closer look. Now compare to the Sideshow version that came out a couple years ago. This is miles in front of that. You've got the tongue in there, teeth. Paint's a little bit sloppy around the brow, I will admit, but the head in person's quite nice. Got quills on this. That was a big issue with the Sideshow version. Everyone was whinging there was no quills, which I agree with. This is a lot better. Now I was trying to decide between the two head sculpts. I love both equally with this. They're both great, but I'm getting the Prime one, and I'm definitely leaving the Prime one with the mask on. Looking over the city on that sort of city sort of building base. So I think I'll go with the regular head here for display purposes. So I think it's more of a concept piece. Here we have the hand holding the spear. So you get the hand holding this piece here, and you have to insert this whole piece. It's one solid piece. Keys in, and same with the bottom. You got to key this one into there as well. I just love that look there. Side on and at certain angles. It's a beautiful looking piece. Very happy to have it in the collection. And the collection is going to grow somewhat in the coming year with all the Predator and Alien goodies coming from Prime 1 and Infinity. And even cool props, hopefully, if they decide to release anything, which has been on order for a couple of years. I was lucky enough to get this, so you get the certificate of authenticity. Mine's number 19 of 500. So you should get something like that with yours if you decide to get this. One thing's a shame, they don't give you a spare stand for the spare head. So you either have to leave that in the box, which is sort of not really good. You want to see all these things on display. So I think that's something I'm going to sculpt my own base for the secondary head, so I can display it like all the others I have, like Wolf, the XM Studios. You got the Sideshow Marquettes, the Predator 2 Marquette from Sideshow. They've all got the heads on stands next to them in my display room. So this one's the only one that doesn't have that. So a little bit slack on their part not to include that, but I think it'd be fun to make something like that to display it. Alright guys, I might leave it there, but I hope you enjoyed this look at the Infinity Studios City Hunter. It's definitely a nice piece, and I will be looking forward to the Prime 1 version also. There it is guys, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to comment. Happy to answer any questions if you've got any. Thanks guys, bye for now.